Hello. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, it means that you've already synchronized a few accounts and you're past the getting started stage, but there's lots of bits and bobs and features in AdEvolver, so what do we do from here? Well, once you log back in after synchronizing, you'll come to the dashboard, but actually what you might want to do is head on over to Budget Commander, which is this icon. You can always expand this menu at any time. So go to Budget Commander and check it for this account that we've got selected, and you can select multiple accounts with this drop down at any time. So Budget Commander gives us an overview of our spend. It shows you the trends and projections, but it's more than just monitoring. For example, this account has a monthly budget of £15,000, and what we might want to do is get an email when spend exceeds the budget. What we might also need to do is pause this account when the budget exceeds that level of spend. Now, not all accounts have a fixed budget, so we might not need to do that. We might be quite happy with just getting an email alert. We can configure this further, and we can click on additional alerts. Now, these are pretty helpful because you will get 3 additional emails to tell you when you've hit 50, 75, and 90% of spend. And these are helpful because you're obviously expecting to see the 50% email come in roughly halfway through the month. If that comes in early, for example, the first week of the month, you know immediately that you're overspending. If you do choose to pause the account if the budget is exceeded, you can also tick re-enable the campaign. So what that does is midnight on the first day of the next month, it will re-enable the campaigns for you automatically. And we also have 2 currently, with the automation is currently in the works. We have a rollover and a budget defender. So rollover essentially means if I don't hit my budget this month, I'll roll over the unspent budget into the next month. Now, budget defender is quite fancy. It will monitor your spend hourly, and it will pause all your campaigns if you exceed the expected daily spend. Now, Budget Defender is an automation that understands and predicts where your spend should be for the day. So if you have an account that's particularly choppy and can spend too much on some days, or is running away with spend, for example, you might have a few display campaigns that get a bit aggressive and Google's spending 2 or 3 or even 5 times your daily budget, which it can do, and you want to control that instead of having to keep chipping away at your budgets, then you can set the Budget Defender to cap that level of spend. So if your expected spend for the day is 100, and come 6 p.m. in the evening, Google is trying to spend 120, we will pause those campaigns. I'm going to turn these off because I don't need them for this particular account, but I do need these updates. And of course you can do that for any account, so we can move across to the next account and do the same thing. We also have budget groups. So budget groups allow you to create additional, essentially, budget alerts. So all the options are available when you group budgets together. So why might you do this? Well, you might have a specific budget for all your display campaigns and you want to group them together. And in doing so, you can monitor that budget group separately and get alerts separately for that specific budget. So I might call this my maximum display spend. And let's just say hypothetically it's €5,000 in this month, and the display has a target of €35. And again, we can get an email if budget exceeds, we can pause, and we can do the rollover, etc. So if I save that, then you will see that down here I now have a budget group, and it gives me a readout of the target spend, the current spend, and the actual KPI. So that's Budget Commander. Let's take a look at the Ad Tester. So Ad Tester will give you a rundown of ads that have hit statistical significance for things like click-through rate, conversion value, if you're tracking conversion value, things like active ads, where you have too few ads. For example, this campaign and all these ad groups have only got one advert in them, so we're suggesting that you add another. And these inconclusive messages essentially mean that this is going to struggle to hit statistical significance. So if you want to be improving the performance of this ad group, you may consider adding a new ad. And of course, these are going to struggle to hit statistical significance because they've only got one ad in them. So you could literally click on the ad group and you can create a new advert here. And we have a drag and drop interface. Now, I'm not going to go through all the details because if you click on the bottom right hand corner, you can click the little question mark, get help for this page, and I walk you through in another video how to use the ad tester and create ads using the drag and drop interface and so on and so forth. The same goes for the search query steroids. This is a super powerful tool. It works on n-grams, and I'm going to do another video on n-grams to explain to you what they are if you don't know what n-grams are about. But this is a very powerful search query management tool, and again, I'm not going to go through it in detail here, but it's something you do want to spend time with. And again, if you need help with it, click the question mark and get help for this page, and I walk you through it. We don't currently allow you to negative keywords at the account level simply because there are potential risks in doing so, and we want to add some safeguards in place before we roll that out. But you can add negatives at the campaign and ad group level. For example, if I was to click all of these single queries to exclude all of them, I could do so here, but I'm not going to do that. And there are filters for zero conversion, wasteful queries. And as you can see, we will highlight if these are already negatived in the account. I said I wasn't going to talk through it, but I essentially am now, aren't I? So this color coding on the right hand side is against your, let me just turn these filters off, is against your KPI. So as you can see, this query that I've had to mask because this is live data is under, for 1 month, the target ROAS, because this account is a ROAS account, and for the year it's just about on target, but for the past 6 months and then the prior 3 to 1 months it's trending down. So this query is actually worsening performance over time, and as you can see, there's a lot of data in here, and you can speed things up by clicking filter by zero conversions if you so wish. And then there are 2, 3, 4 plus n-grams at the top. And like I say, I go into more detail on this tool in the help video, and I will be doing another video on this because we've got also filters that are at the querying campaign and ad group level as well. So you can really filter, include, exclude in this tool to really narrow down what you're looking for. Okay, so heading back to the account dashboard, the bit I skipped at the start, I don't know why I did that, but this is what you'll see when you first log in. So this is just give you a health check. This is much quicker to use than Google, and it allows you to set things like current month versus previous month. So I'm halfway through the month. This tells me halfway through this month versus halfway through the previous month. Where are we at? And we can see that this account, its cost has gone up dramatically. And what I'm looking for here is to consider, is this a problem? Costs up 46%. Conversions are up 37%. So there isn't parity there. So they are trailing. But cost conversion isn't highlighted red. So that isn't trending much higher. So we are getting a reward here. But I might be interested to see why this spend's gone up. And I can do that by simply clicking and expanding this account, and then I can sort by cost, and I can see where we've got these expansions in spend. Another thing I can do is when I hover over, I don't know if I'm going to get any alerts. Yep, I've got an alert for this one. So when you hover over each campaign and ad group and account, you get contextual alerts on the right hand side. For example, this one is a device performance tracker, which is telling me that computers are over 150% of the parent campaign's CPA. That means computers on this, the computer device on this particular campaign is hurting performance. So I might want to go in there and reduce the bid modifier because it's a target CPA. I may even exclude desktop if it's a significant performance issue. So as you can see, when you hover over the entire account, you get an update down here of alerts and changes. And there'll be things in there like zero conversions, underperforming keywords, new keywords that have cropped up that you may need to pay attention to, low click-through rate queries like we have one here. Essentially, this is just highlighting potential performance issues. So conversion rate issues, click-through rate issues, stuff that you need to be aware of, and things like keywords and queries that are spending way over the odds compared to your target CPA or target ROAS. So at the minute, you can't work on those inside AdEvolver, so they are for your information only. However, we will be turning these into one-click optimizations. So for now, they're just to alert you, and they will tell you when you need to be paying attention to things like devices and locations and so on. On the left-hand side, the bottom two options, we have a team. This allows you to invite additional users. We don't charge for users. You can add as many people as you want, within reason. Don't break the system. You can also opt into beta stuff, and the current beta we've got going, I'm not opted into, so I'm going to opt into that, is priority alerts. So this will not make any changes to your account, but this beta is for receiving emails that tell you about significant issues that we've found, and it is a beta, so they might not be perfect, but it's things like tracking issues or spend issues, issues that you need to be made aware of. Your account has had 0 impressions by 10 AM when we normally expect to see 500. We'll send you an email because that might suggest there's a billing issue that you wouldn't be aware of unless you're checking that particular account every single day. And then finally, if you're happy with everything and you're thinking you want to stick around, which is tremendous, you can either click the Upgrade Now button in the top right corner, or if you click the drop down, there is Billing and Invoices. And in here, currently, there's a God tier promotion. That's because I'm a God tier ads customer. So if you're not, you can ignore that. I don't want to upsell to you right here, but you should go and check it out. It's very good. And we will tell you what the monthly cost is. So our minimum fee is $95 a month, but you can make additional savings by subscribing for 6 months or a year. And you simply add a card and activate your subscription, and away we go to the bank, hopefully. Pricing is, it's based on synchronized ad spend. That means you can have unlimited number of accounts, unlimited users, unlimited everything. We bill you based on the synchronized ad spend. And I personally think that's the fairest way we could do it instead of having rigid tiers. So some people may make it that if you have more than 10 accounts, they put you on the next billing tier, or you get to 25 accounts and you just want to add 26, and all of a sudden you've been jumped up to their 200 account tier, which is twice the price. So the way we do it, it's a dynamic percentage of spend. Well, it starts at $95, and then it's, as you can see, it's tiered spending limits or spending thresholds for how we charge, and there's always a maximum, so you won't be charged over that amount. There is a pricing calculator, which takes you to another screen, and you can stick your bits and bats in here. But the pricing calculator doesn't take into account your subscription discount, of course. And that's just an honesty check that we're showing the monthly instead of the annual cost, because a lot of people show the annual and then it's a surprise when you get billed. And I think that just about covers it. So it's a bit of a whistle-stop tour. But as I say, if you're struggling, oh yeah, I forgot to say, there's a suggest feature as well. So in the bottom right hand side, you can suggest a feature and vote on stuff that other people have discussed or suggested. And you can also catch me on chat. Yep, I can talk to me if I want to talk to me, but you can talk to me. I don't need to talk to me. like I say, if at any time you need help, just click on the Get Help for this page. And these videos hopefully will help you out, but I'm here on chat if you need me, and also on email. And speaking of chat, I think I've waffled on for long enough now, so I hope that helps you get orientated and get started with AdEvolver. And any questions, please do let us know. Thank you.